Good morning, students. As in the previous videos, we started with module 1, and under the module 1, we came across the parallel computer models. Under this topic, we have seen the computer generation, then elements of modern computers. So today in this video lecture, we'll see the evolution of computer architecture. The study of computer architecture involves the following. One is the hardware organization and the second one is the programming or the software requirements. The evolution of a computer architecture is believed to have started with von Neumann architecture. So which is built as a sequential machine and executing the scalar data. So what is scalar data and vector data? We'll see in the next videos. And a major in this context we'll see as one is a look ahead, parallelism and pipelining. Then we'll see the Flynn's classification. Then we'll see the parallel or vector computers. Then the development layers. So first coming to the first topic, that is look ahead, parallelism and pipelining. As we can see in the figure, so this figure is the tree showing architectural evolution from sequential scalar computers to vector processors and the parallel computers here. As we started with the von Neumann architecture, which is built as the sequential machine executing the scalar data. So the sequential computer was improved from a bit serial to word parallel operations, and from fixed point to floating point operations. The von Neumann architecture is slow due to sequential execution of instruction in programs. So the look ahead, parallelism and pipelining came into the picture. So the look ahead, as you can see here, the look ahead technique were introduced to prefetch instruction in order to overlap the IE, that is instruction, fetch or decode and execution here operations, and to enable the functional parallelism. The functional parallelism, as you can see here, the functional parallelism was supported by two approaches. One is to use multiple functional units simultaneously, and other is to practice pipelining at various processing levels. Then later includes pipelined instruction execution, pipelined architecture computations and memory access operations. So pipelining has proven especially attractive in performing identical operations repeatedly over vector data strings. Vector operations were originally carried out implicitly by software controlled looping using scalar pipeline processors. Now we'll see the Flynn's classification of computer architectures. So in the year 1966, Michael Flynn proposed a classification for computer architectures based on the number of instruction streams and data streams. So that is named as the Flynn's taxonomy. Flynn uses the stream concept for describing a machine's structure. A stream simply means a sequence of items. So items includes data or instructions. So coming to the first one, that is a Flynn's taxonomy, that is a SISD, that is a single instruction, single data. So which is a classical von Neumann architecture. Then second one, the SIMD, single instruction, multiple data. And the third one, MIMD, that is multiple instructions, multiple data. So which is most common and general parallel machines. And MISD, that is multiple instruction, single data. Now coming to the first one, that is SISD. So SISD is the single instruction stream and a single data stream. So SISD corresponds to the traditional mono processors, that is von Neumann computers. A single data stream is being processed by one instruction stream, as you can see in the figure. A single processor computer, that is a uniprocessor, in which a single stream of instruction is generated from the program. Now coming to the SIMD, that is a single instruction stream and multiple data streams. So each instruction is executed on a different set of data by different processors. That is multiple processing units of the same type process on multiple data streams. So this group is dedicated to array processing machines. So sometimes vector processors can also be seen as a part of this group. Now coming to the MIMD, that is the multiple instruction streams and multiple data streams. Each processor has a separate program and an instruction stream is generated from each program, and each instruction operates on a different data. So this last machine type builds the group for the traditional multiprocessors, and several processing units operates on multiple data streams here. Now coming to the MISD, that is multiple instruction streams and a single data stream. So each processor executes a different sequence of instructions. In case of MISD computers, multiple processing units operates on a single data stream here. So in practice, this kind of organization has never been used. Now coming to the development layers, the figure shows a layered development of parallel computers based on a classification by Linoni Ni in the year 1990. So this figure shows the 6 layers for computer system development. As we can see, the upper 4 layers are machine independent and the lower 4 layers are the machine dependent. So machine dependent means these layers are which are dependent on the machine architecture. Machine independent means so these layers which are independent of the computer architecture here. The address space of a processor in a computer system varies among different architectures. It depends on the memory organization, which is machine dependent. These features are up to the designers and should match the target application domains. On the other hand, we want to develop application programs and programming environments which are machine independent of machine architecture. The user programs can be ported to many computers with the minimum conversion cost here. High level languages and communication models are dependent on the architectural choice made in a computer system. From a programmer's viewpoint, so these two layers should be architecture transparent. Then programming languages such as Fortran, C, C++, Pascal can be supported by most computers. However, the communication models of shared variables versus message passing are mostly machine dependent. Application programmers prefer more architectural transparency. However, the kernel programmers have to explore the opportunities supported by hardware. As a good computer architect, one has to approach the problem from both ends. The compilers and operating system supports should be designed to remove as many architectural constraints as possible from the programmer here. Now coming to the programming environments, the programmability of a computer depends on the programming environment provided to the user. So one is the sequential environment and another is the parallel environment. In conventional uniprocessor computers are programmed in a sequential environment in which instructions are executed one after the other in a sequential manner. Whereas in the parallel environment, when we are using the parallel computers, so where parallelism is automatically exploited here. So now coming to the two types of parallelism, one is the implicit parallelism and the second one is the explicit parallelism. An implicit approach uses a conventional languages such as C, C++, Fortran, or Pascal to write the source programs. The sequentially coded source program is translated into the parallel object code by a parallelizing compiler here, as shown in the figure. So this compiler must be able to detect parallelism and assign target machine resources. So this compiler approaches has been applied in programming shared memory multiprocessors. With parallelism being implicit, success relies heavily on the intelligence of the parallelism compilers. So this approach requires less effort on the part of the programmer. The second approach is the explicit parallelism, as shown in the figure B. It requires more effort by the programmer to develop a source program using parallel of C or C++, Fortran or Pascal. Parallelism is explicitly specified in the user programs. So this reduces the burden on the compiler to detect parallelism. Instead, the compiler needs to preserve parallelism and where possible assigns the target machine resources. New programming language special software tools are needed to make an environment more friendly to use groups. Some of the tools are parallel extensions of conventional high-level languages. Others are integrated environments, which includes tools providing a different level of program abstractions or validation, testing, debugging, and tuning, performance prediction, and monitoring here. In this video, we came across the evolution of computer architecture. In that, we have seen the look ahead, parallelism, and pipelining. Then we have seen the Flint's classification. Then we have seen the development layers. Then we have seen the parallelisms, that is the programming environments. Thank you for watching this video lecture.